My pad fell out in front of my boyfriend and his family. Story time. So y'all remember when your girl was evacuated? Well, I remember that, and it was not fun time. It was quite tragic, actually. We're living out of the trailer. We kept on moving back and forth because the fire kept getting closer to us everywhere we went. Let's not forget the fact that I had to drive 2 hours to work. Other than that, it was quite delicious. Anyways, when we first got evacuated and we were packing our shit together, there was some essentials that I forgot to pack. AKA my pad. So I had just gotten off of work and I was driving on my way back to the trailer. An hour into the drive, I get this terrible cramp. Ladies, you know the feeling. And I realized I started my cycle. When I got back to the trailer, I didn't have anything I could use. So your girl had to use the old reliable TP. Ladies, don't act like you never had to do this before either. I changed out of my clothes, used the TP. I was walking out to go to the store. As I was walking, right in front of my boyfriend's parents, toilet paper falls. What made it worse is my boyfriend thought it was poop. He made fun of me at first and then he felt bad. I ran away crying. This man pulled down his pants and peed right in front of me. Story time. Okay, so I told you guys I work at a clinic, and about a month ago, I was COVID screening at the door. Well, this crusty man came in trying to use the bathroom. And I was like, sir, I can't let you in the facility unless you have an appointment. He was like, no, I'm just trying to use the bathroom. Let me in the fucking bathroom. And then he tries to walk past me. But luckily, security was there and they kicked him out. And I thought that was the end of it until I was talking to security and I turned my head. And right outside the window, I see that musty crackhead whip out his eggplant and start peeing on the window. It was a very unpleasant sight. What made this even worse is the fact that he peed right in front of the pediatric side of the clinic. If I was a parent at that clinic, I would have been pissed. The security ends up chasing the crackhead, but he got away, and then he ended up calling the cops. Tell me why that crackhead was so stupid he came back to go to the pharmacy, which is right next door to the clinic. And right when he got to the pharmacy, the cops showed up and arrested him. Moral of the story, don't pee in front of a clinic. Story time. So I just got back from getting my claws done and I had the most chaotic experience ever. The beginning was a 10 out of 10. It was great. They gave me watermelon and cranberry juice. I was living life until they started doing my nails. So I'm getting my nails done and then all of a sudden one of the workers gets stung by a bee and everyone starts freaking out because she's allergic to bees. So everyone's just literally freaking out. And what made it even more crazy is the fact that they had The Exorcist playing on the TV. Can someone say spooky season? Anyways, the guy that's doing my nails took her to the hospital, which meant someone else had to do my nails. And the sweet lady that was doing my nails gave me nothing that I asked for. And to be honest, I was kind of bummed about it because these are my birthday nails. It was a little special, but I didn't say anything about it because, you know, I was kind of shy. So right as I'm about to pay, the guy that was doing my nails came back. He looked at my nails to ask me if I liked them. And then he was like, this is not what you asked for. I'm gonna redo them. So I spent a total of 3.5 hours at a nail salon, but I got what I kind of wanted. Anyways, click the link. This guy followed me and took pictures of me inside a Walmart. Story time. So this happened about 2.5 weeks ago. And the first mistake I made was I went to Walmart. When does anything good ever happen at Walmart? Like, honestly, every time I go, something happens. Anyways, the second mistake I made was looking like a whole ass main character of a Hallmark movie. A Hallmark movie. Like, look at me. I was looking like a bad bitch, but also like fresh meat. Next time I should be very careful and look like a scrub. Well, anyways, I was just shopping and vibing, getting followed without even noticing. You know, all the normal stuff. Then I decided to turn in the shampoo section. All I gotta say is I'm so happy that the person I was with realized that someone was following us, because my dumb ass wouldn't have even known. So as this guy is taking pictures of us, the person I was with literally turns around and they're like, hey, stop being a weirdo, I'm taking pictures. Then the guy takes his phone and puts it to his ear, acts like someone was calling him. Sir, you ain't slick. As soon as that happened, I was like, fuck this. And I just left the store because I was like, I'm not trying to have someone follow me. And tell me why when we left the store, he did too. So I ran into my car, locked the doors, and I just drove off. Real tough being one of God's favorites. There was a fire at my job. Story time. So there I was, just working, trying to get that coin. And 15 minutes before I get out of work, there was a fire. The janitor comes up to me and he's like, we're gonna evacuate. Not gonna lie, at first I thought he was joking. I literally laughed at him and went back to typing. And then I saw the police get there and I was like, oh, he's serious. So I grabbed my things and I left the building as I should, obviously. I'm not trying to die, you know, I'm too cute for that. So then I get outside and I'm talking to one of the doctors because, you know, I work at a clinic. And then I realized I left my lunchbox and I just got super depressed because I was like, food over everything. And I was ready to risk it all. I was ready to risk it all for that food. I actually did try to go back in, but then the security guard was like, you can't go back in, turn around. But you know that saying, no man left behind? Well, in my case, it's no food left behind. So I waited in the cold for about 30 minutes because it was the weekend and I wouldn't have been able to get it until Monday. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I'm not trying to clean out a nasty smelling lunchbox. No, thank you. Also, tell me why fires keep following me. It's literally December. Why is there fires? Who has a hex on me? Story time. So ever since I was like 8 years old, I've always gotten headaches. And I don't know why. I drink water, I eat enough food, and I get enough sleep, but I still just be getting headaches for no reason. Anyways, my freshman year, someone convinced me that I had a brain tumor. I really believed it too. It was quite embarrassing. So I was doing cheer at the time, and I was getting nosebleeds like every single day, along with a raging headache. And they would always happen randomly. Like I wasn't doing anything to cause them. It just happened. So one day, in the middle of my math class, my nose just started bleeding. Before that, I had a terrible headache, and the girl that was sitting next to me told me my nose was bleeding. As I'm cleaning my nose, the girl's like, I noticed that you get a lot of headaches and nosebleeds. My grandpa had a brain tumor, and I think that's what you have. And I was just sitting there like, I guess this is how God wanted me to go out. The whole day I was stressing. Then when I get home, I start writing my mom a goodbye letter and picking out the clothes I want at my funeral. Then I told my sister about it, and she smacked me upside the head and called me stupid. I got hit by a car at work. Story time. So 2 weeks ago, I was at work, obviously, and I was getting trained. But they were training me in a different building. This building just so happened to be behind a grocery store. And during my lunch, I walked over to the grocery store to get a fork. To get to the store, I had to walk through the parking lot, just like you do for any store. As I was walking through the parking lot, I walked behind this parked car. I didn't realize that they were trying to back up, but they were. And then they backed up into me. It was honestly just a little tap, but it still hurted. So it was a young girl, and after she slightly taps me, she comes out of her car, hysterical, freaking out like, oh my God, are you okay? Like, do you have to go to the hospital? I'm so sorry. She was freaking out more than I was. To make her feel a little bit better, I was trying to joke around with her, and I was like, girl, I'm okay, I'm alive, you didn't finish the job. After I said that, it just made the situation worse. She just stared at me like I was crazy and said, you need help. And I was like, girl, I'm trying to make you feel better for hitting me. Like, actually, you know what? My neck actually hurts. I might just sue. Make our pockets hurt. This 6-year-old man tried flirting with me at work. Story time. So last Friday, I was at work getting that coin, and in the middle of my shift, my lead had me do some COVID screening. Anyways, this old man comes out of his appointment, and he sees me sitting by the door. First thing this old man says to me is, damn, if I knew you worked here, I'd come in more often. I don't know what it is about me, but for some reason, old men are always hitting on me. Like, I don't understand it, and how am I pulling y'all with this big old zit on my forehead? Like, y'all really don't care. Anyways, he continues talking to me, and he's like, you know, I might need a caregiver, and I think that you would fit the position. You can massage me, we can do other things. I looked at him and I was like, I'm not qualified for all that. I just work here. Then he left, and I thought that was the end of it. But then he really came back. He came back just to talk to me. My own boyfriend doesn't even do this for me. And when he came back, he was like, oh, I'm sorry, I never introduced myself. My name's Craig. You got a boyfriend? I was like, yeah. And he was like, well, tell your boyfriend that Craig is gonna steal you. Jail. Then he told me don't have kids and left. I thought I was gonna get kidnapped yesterday. Story time. So I got off work at 6. And at this time, it's already dark as hell outside because I missed daylight savings. And God knows I'm afraid of the dark, so I ran my ass to the car, locked the doors, and drove off. As I was driving, I heard this weird noise. I thought it was my heater, so I was sitting in the car like, what the hell is this? God, you're really telling me I gotta spend money on a new heater? So I turned off my heater, and turns out it wasn't my heater. And I was just sitting there like, what the hell is that noise? So I'm looking around and I see this note underneath my windshield. Right as I see this note, I also see this car tailgating me. This car was so close, I thought it was a cop. Then I start freaking out because I think this car's following me. And on top of that, my friend had just told me about this new sex trafficking thing where they leave a note on your car. When you pick up the note to read it, that's when they steal you. So in my head, that's what I thought was going on. And I just sat in my car driving and crying like, I don't want to get stolen. So I tried to call my boyfriend, and of course, the call doesn't go through. So then I switched lanes to see if they were following me. And sure enough, they switched lanes too. So then I decided to pull into this gas station. And they pulled into it too. Turns out the guy was actually trying to get gas. And the note was for tamales. 2 heart surgeries in 1 year. Story time. So back in March, my little brother had to get heart surgery. And what made it worse is he wasn't even 1 at the time. And COVID was happening, so my parents were super stressed out. Fast forward to here in October, I'm now finding out that my dad now needs to get heart surgery. My dad is getting surgery because his heart valve is deteriorating. When he was 19 years old, he got bacterial meningitis. And this disease basically attacked my dad's heart valve. And my dad was extremely sick and he had to stay in the hospital. The doctors were actually shocked that he was even alive. It was pretty bad. Well, my dad ended up getting a donor heart valve. And those are only supposed to last, I think, 8 to 10 years. We actually didn't know that. My dad has had his heart valve since he was 19. That's 25 years ago. So he needs surgery to get a new one. The surgery, along with all the other medical costs, is extremely expensive. And I know everyone is struggling right now. But if you guys could donate to my dad's GoFundMe, it would help my family so much. The link is in my bio for anyone who can donate. Even 50 cents, $1 would help. Literally anything. And if you cannot donate, please just interact with this video. I love you guys so much. Thank you. Bro, oh my god. Why do the most awkward things happen to me? So this car driving away over there was at first parked right next to me. And I'm just sitting in my car waiting on my friend's hair to get done. And I look over to the car that's parked next to me, and it was some dude sitting in there. He had his window rolled down and he waved at me. I waved at him back, you know, not thinking anything of it. And his wife comes out of the freaking store that we're parked in front of and starts yelling at him. She was like, oh, so we're waving to other bitches now. We're waving to other girls. And I'm just sitting here like, okay. I'm never waving at a man ever again. And then she looks at me and she's like, did you give him your number? And I'm just sitting there like, no, I just waved at him. And she rolled her eyes, got in the car, and they drove off. I don't know what that man did to make this woman lose her trust in him. But it clearly had to be something bad, because why is she popping off on me? Anyways, don't wave at men.